Hi, how's everyone doing? Thanks for coming to The Real Truth About Health. Don't forget to join us in Orlando, Florida from May the 23rd until May the 31st. It's the most important environmental and health event ever held on the planet Earth. We not only want you there, those of you that cannot attend, we're going to live stream it. So sit by a computer, ask your boss if you can take off those 10 days. Today we're going to speak about a subject very dear to me. Here we have been looking at every significant and important health issue since 1956. One that wasn't a problem in 1956 was wireless routers, cell phones, laptop computers, and stationary computers. Today this has become a landmine, and people are not discussing it other than in little corridors of science. And when we read this science, it's not only concerning, it's shocking and frightening. I have not ever seen groups of doctors that were not connected at different universities in different nations, sometimes tens of thousands of miles apart, agree on one subject as much as I've seen them agree upon cell phones, direct connection to tumors and cancer. We have the great work that's being done by the scientists here in America, Dr. Deborah Davis and others, Exeter University, for instance, in England. But recently, we finally hit the landmine of research that goes year after year and has exposed this in better detail than anyone else I've ever seen. We've contacted him, and very soon we're going to be doing an interview for Hippocrates, The Real Truth About Health. Dr. Hardell at one of the top universities in Sweden. Dr. Hardell has absolutely shown, again without a shadow of doubt, that when you use a cell phone in close proximity to the head, it contributes to brain cancer. Now, when this hard data is agreed upon by every doctor who's ever seriously looked at it, I think we better wake up and start to think about this. Now, rather than just frighten you, some of the remedies that I've chosen to take in my life and taught my children, grandchildren, and our guest here at Hippocrates Health Institute is to place your cell phone on the table in front of you and put it on speaker and speak that way. So it's not in your hand, it's not near your body or on your ear. The work that was done at the University of California was also stunning, where we showed film, we were shown film, I should say, of young ladies that put cell phones in their brassieres. And they showed several different examples of a rare form of breast cancer that occurred, right where the battery was. So don't think that that's safe. We go back to Exeter University that confirms what Yale University here in the United States showed us, that when young men put cell phones in their pockets next to their testicles, within 30 seconds now, Exeter shows, sperm counts go down as much as 40%. This is possibly one of the reasons that 1/3 of the young married couples now are struggling to have children. We also talk about routers. It's not just the cell phones we're using, but how about the wireless that often is on 24 hours a day in close proximity to where you're sleeping or where you are in your home? Find ways to shut that on and off, even if you have to manually unplug it before you go to bed at night. Look around your neighborhood, the village, the town, or the city that you live in. How many cell towers are close by? How many high-tension wires are close by? If you look at the Swedish studies that go back decades, as well as the Russian studies, they show when you're very close to this electromagnetic frequency, the incidence of disorder and even emotional disorder greatly heightens. We must start to take this in our own hands because seemingly other than a handful of people in government are at all speaking about this. As a matter of fact, it has come to my attention that they've actually hidden the truth about this and tell you that it's quite safe and that it's been looked at well. I know here in the United States, one of our former presidents commissioned a study because he was personally concerned as to whether or not cell phones created any problem. And don't you know that the scientists that conducted the study actually created fraud? That in the middle of the study, they determined, yes, in fact, it does advance tumors. And they reversed the outcome and the findings. It wasn't until years later, after the study was conducted, and this president sadly believed the science and told people it was fine, that they discovered that fraud was a part of it. So don't let any of this confuse you or frighten you. Just find new ways for you, your family, your loved ones, your colleagues, your friends, and other fellow humans to use these in the safest way we can. Don't think that a wire that goes into your ear is safe unless you buy one that's specifically going to help for that reason. The typical wires literally give the same amount of cancer as the Italian studies show us about 10 to 15 years ago. We don't want to scare everyone. What we want to do is inform everyone. The real truth about health is really about telling you things that you may not hear in mainstream media, telling you things that obviously you won't see in mainstream television, and allowing you to make choices on your own. And I think smart people make good choices all of the time. Take care of yourself and tune in to the real truth about health.